And now to my final word, brothers and sisters. There are many things that manage to symbolise the venal corruption of this government. The bastardisation of the school lunches program into cheap slop, the IREX ferry fiasco, the gutting of public health by a smiling man-child, smashing Labour's infrastructure pipeline that created a cascade collapse across the entire economy, desperately needed public housing standing empty, 12 billion for military helicopters while kneecapping pay parity, the total capitulation to corporate interests via the Regulatory Standards Act, undermining workers' safety while the Pike River mine movie opened, the totally needless and counterproductive hate fest spawned by the Treaty Principles referendum, the war on climate legislation as New Zealand gets hit by more extreme weather, the cutting of benefits for people while giving the worst industries hundreds of millions in corporate welfare, refusing compensation to survivors of state abuse if they've gone to prison, refusing to recognise Palestine and siding with the war criminals, and the final example that manages to symbolise the venal corruption of this government is their entire response to the homelessness problem that they have created. Everyone in the homelessness sector told the government that their revised thresholds for emergency housing would create a tsunami of homelessness. Everyone in the homelessness sector said cutting $20 million from food banks would make those homeless more desperate. Everyone in the homelessness sector said cutting back on community outreach programs for the homeless would mean those homeless had no access to off-ramps via wraparound services. Despite everyone telling them this, National did it all anyway, resulting in an obscene spike in homelessness to the point that their poverty, addiction and mental health issues explode shamefully across our streets in a way that embarrasses us in front of the tourists. So embarrassed are they by the realities of their policy cruelty, they now put forward a solution to simply arrest the homeless. Firstly, shouldn't National Act and New Zealand First voters be confronted with the grim reality of their social policies as they walk around? Secondly, shouldn't the government be heavily criticised for promoting criminalisation of the poverty they themselves have manufactured? Where does Chris Luxon, who is one of the richest politicians in New Zealand, who got an $8,000 rates reduction for his $1 million batch on Waiheke, and who has personally profited $600,000 from flipping property after he changed the rules, that Chris Luxon, where does he get off arresting the homelessness that he has created? Merry Christmas, everyone. This year, Santa has been mugged by winds and evicted by Kāinga Ora. In solidarity, the revolution continues. Ka pai!